QB tiers, man. Last week we had the debut. We debuted last week's tiers, which was the bikini bottom tier. That was our who we think are just the worst quarterbacks, for a variety of different reasons, right? This week it's not that. This week, this is not about how good you are or how bad you are. This is we don't really want to make a large sweeping determination on who you are as a quarterback off of your rookie year. So we lumped everybody together. We have, and except for one, Bryce Young is in this as well. We lumped all the rookies together, and we're just going to go ahead and discuss what we thought about each person, man. So I am going to go ahead and get that up and running. So this is what I would call the Jedi apprentice, man. The Jedi apprentice tier, man. The Force. Are you on the light side or are you on the dark side of the Force, man? Rod. Who do you think is going to be on the light side? Who do you think is going to be on the dark side? And we're going to answer those questions going forward, man. So, first things first, man. First person that we are going to address, man, is Drake Maye. Drake Maye. Drake Maye. Drake Maye. Drake Maye. So, Drake Maye. One of the things about Drake Maye is Drake Maye's stats are not going to tell you the whole story. Drake Maye was a lot better than his stats. He only had 15 touchdowns passing. He had 10 interceptions. Some of them were definitely his fault. But if you actually dig into the tape, you realize, dog, that he had about 4 or 5 that were tipped that went into the receiver's hands. He was the most pressured quarterback in the league by far. He had one of the highest pressure rates in the history since they've been recording the stat. Like the fact that it wasn't a complete disaster was a testament to how good Drake Maye was, right? And I just don't think a lot of people really understood that because who the fuck was actually watching the Patriots? I actually decided to watch the Patriots because I was interested in Drake Maye. He was my favorite quarterback coming out, so I try to catch all the games. So if you didn't actually watch the Patriots, you wouldn't realize how actually good Drake Maye was last season, bro. What are your thoughts of Drake Maye, Rod?
Well, shit, Herb. When you consider what the Patriots asked of him last season, right? Like when you compare him to the other guys that were in his class, he easily had the worst situation. Because let's be honest, Bill Belichick will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time because of Tom Brady. That's neither here nor there. But at the end of the day, Herbie, what he could also go down as is one of the worst GMs of all.
Worst GMs of all time. Worst GMs of all time. Like
Bad
we
drafting.
no,
Yeah,
keep
they
going,
have
keep going.
years and years of bad drafting. They have years and years of just not really utilizing their picks. So, and then you couple that with the Gerard Mayo hire, which had a whole lot of weird energy around it, surrounding it, right? So, for all intents and purposes, Herbie, Drake May, he did show some good last year. Some people really are like I've seen some people on the
Yeah. So I'll take over. So what Rob was basically trying to say is a lot of people, if you actually paid attention to Drake May, like you'll realize that Drake May was actually pretty good. And one of the things that he was special at was playmaking. I think he had like almost 700 yards rushing. Like white boy got some moves, man. White boy got some wheels, man. Like white boy was running that mug, bro. White boy got some wheels on him, bro. Like if you actually watch the film, there are times where I laughed because the offensive line for the Patriots was so bad that as soon as the ball snapped, this dude had a fucking linebacker breathing or a defensive lineman running down his face, bro. As soon as the ball snapped, like it was instant pressure.
bro. They had one of easily, easily, bro. So the fact that
like
he was able to make any, and then when you consider the talent, Herbie, who was he throwing to?
his number one
Who was he
receiver was
throwing?
James Polk, man. And Kenyon Bourne or whatever the heck his name is, or Kenyon Bourne or something like that, bro. So it was bad, man. Like it was bad, and I know that there are reports like they OTAs he threw 4 picks. Like that's the whole point, bro. Get
That's
that
when
shit
you want
out.
him to throw the picks.
That's when you want to throw picks because you see that he's aggressive and he's trying things and he's trying to see what he can get away with. 2, Josh McDaniels has a very complicated offense, right? It's a lot of option plays. It's a lot of option routes. You and the receiver have to be on the complete same page. If you read it differently, if you read it one way, the receiver reads it one way, that's an interception. If you read it one way and the receiver reads it the other way, that's a hospital ball. Like it's so option based. Like it, and that's why so many people, so many receivers struggled to adapt to the Patriot way because a lot of these dudes just couldn't be fast enough to see, oh, that's cover two, that's cover one, that's cover four, that's cover three. Well, I'm supposed to go here. I'm supposed to do this based
Yeah,
off of
you
that.
need
I'm
a
supposed to
real
do
deal
this based off
football
of that.
IQ to play in that offense. Like a real deal.
So you're going to throw picks in OTAs because if I think if I want you to do something and you don't do it, where's the ball going to go? The ball's going to go to the opposite side, bro. Like so,
Right.
that's what you want, bro. So what are you expecting to see? How do you feel about him heading into next season?
Well, obviously, Herbie, I think I'm going to see improvement. Mike Vrabel being the head coach of the team, I think is going to really do some favors for them because one, unlike Gerard Mayo was kind of a new coach. He didn't have experience. Mike Vrabel has experience. For people who paid attention to what he did in Tennessee, his Tennessee team did some creative things in the running game. Obviously, in today's NFL, being creative in the running game, unless you're the 49ers, doesn't get you any credit. But he's
Yeah,
going to bring that knowledge over to the New England Patriots. He's going to bring the defensive philosophy. And let me tell you, Herbie, the Patriots hiring Vrabel scared me because his Tennessee teams, despite how not talented they were, always gave the Dolphins trouble. And we got to play that twice a year.
yeah,
So you
facts.
look at the moves that the Patriots have made. Now the schedule is going to be tough. So I don't expect the Patriots to take a massive leap, but they have improved themselves in terms of the offensive line a little bit, in terms of their wide receiver room. They haven't made vast improvements, Herbie, because at the end of the day, when you drafted as badly as Bill Belichick has drafted throughout the years, you're just not going to fix that in one season. But
At all.
I do expect people to see what like those of us who see his talent. I think we'll see more of that this season. I think he'll be able to actually win some games on his own. But the only thing I will say, Herbie, is because brand new head coach, brand new system, he's gonna have some growing pains early on. But I think by the end of the season, I think people will be more impressed with him than not. If I'm being honest,
Man,
if I were to
most
compare him, like in terms of like a Star Wars comparison, maybe I would call him Ahsoka, bro. Someone who you don't think much of him early on, but he might end up being a badass, which I hope not, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
that wouldn't be good for the Dolphins if he
Yeah,
ends
that would
up
be
being a badass, man. All right, man. Next up, man. Bryce Young. Bryce Young. Talk about a story, right? So the theme I'm gonna go with Bryce Young, bro, is perseverance. Like we even had a video where we were clowning him, right? Like he was DOA. Like he started the season terrible. They put him in the game. They were like, dog, you can't be out here, bro. Like you are a wreck. And this is why I say it's okay to sit dudes. Cause he sat his ass down and he came back a significantly better football player. Like sometimes dudes just need to relax and not have the weight of the world on their shoulders, bruh, so they can play loose, so they can play free. Like I have his stats, right? Like this is before and after the benching. Because the first game he was terrible. The first game he was terrible. Second game, man had 84 passing yards on 26 attempts against the Chargers, bro. I repeat, 84 passing yards on 26 passing attempts, and he completed 18 of them.
He
That's
was captain check
3.2
down that
yards
whole
per.
game. I watched some of that game. He was captain check down that entire game. That entire
The
game.
next game, he had 7 passing yards. I mean, he had 58 passing yards, and then he had -4 passing yards and found a way to throw 2 picks. He had 2 attempts for 2 picks. His first 2 picks, he threw 2 picks, and they had to yank his ass out of the game, bro. And he sat his ass down. And when he came back, do you know what he did the rest of the game, bro? He threw a touchdown in every single game that he played once they put him back in the starting lineup, dog. Like, for him to not completely shatter, not completely go left, like a Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford mentally just was frail and he folded, right? Like, it just got to him. Bryce is 5'9", a buck 80, soaking wet, and had the heart to come back from all of that, like forget what he did, forget how promising he looked, bro. The fact that he came back from all of that, bro. Like I get it, bro. You lost your bitch. Somebody took your bitch. I get it, bro. It happens, bro. You can't let losing your bitch completely almost ruin your NFL career, though, dog. That's crazy. Like, like,
Fact.
like, like, because you're not gonna tell me that he just got better because he was watching film. Nah, the man that nigga lost his bitch, bro. And he was out here throwing picks left and right because you lost your bitch, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you talking about, man? But with that though, man, I'm super excited for Bryce. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. What about you, Rod?
Listen, man. He was someone like you said, Herbie. We had him dead in the water. We talked about how he was just a franchise failure, and it just turns out Herbie he just needed to sit a little bit and kind of just absorb the offense. And look, at the end of the day, Herbie, sometimes there are some guys that come out the gate and they're on fire, right? Like there are some guys who are just undeniable out the gate, and there's nothing wrong with it taking a little time for you to see what you have in a guy. And Bryce Young showed once he got some time to sit, some time to learn the offense, he worked on his footwork a little bit. And next thing you know, Herbie, you see the skills that he has, right? Bryce Young is an accurate quarterback. Bryce Young throws with anticipation. Bryce Young has good quarterback skills, right? It just took some time for him to develop them. And, with some of the talent that the Carolina Panthers have added in the offseason, we don't really know what to expect from them, right? And I don't think they're expecting much out of Bryce. But if my Jedi apprentice comparison to him is Ezra from Rebels, right? Because Ezra, when you first introduced, you don't really think much of him. You don't know how much of his force ability he really has, and it turns out that he's a lot more proficient in the force than initially believed. So we see that Bryce Young is a lot more proficient in the force than we thought. So the sky's the limit for him, Herbie, and I expect to see some improvement from him this year, Herbie. I think he could do, especially when you consider the fact that now he has that confidence, which is what he was lacking. He has confidence. I think the team and the organization is a little more behind him. So I expect to see some improvement from him. I think he'll be. I think he can rise up these tiers.
Nah, for sure, man. All right, next up in the tier, man, in the Jedi Apprentice tier, man, we got Michael Penix, man. And it is now going to be the Michael Penix show. You feel me? And hold on. Ooh, this janky messing up my ear a little bit. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just make sure my mic is still being picked up. All right, good. It is the Michael Penix show. I like when the quarterback matches the city that they play in, right? Like Michael Penix is perfect for Atlanta, Georgia. Like he's perfect for Atlanta, Georgia. Every time you see Michael Penix, bro, he got a do-rag on. You know he is from Florida. You could tell he's from Florida. At the
Yep.
draft, he looked like he was with them dudes. He was with them boys. He had a nice black woman with him. So he clearly is about the culture, right? So it is a perfect fit culturally. Now, I will say this. He did not play that many games. I think he only played in 4 games. But
Three.
3, the amount of times that I seen this man throw hospital balls in 3 games was alarming. They got to tell that boy, relax, dog. You are going to send dudes to the ER. And that is the one thing when I went back and watched film, because I ain't gonna lie, when when we did the tiers, I was like, oh shit, we forgot about Michael Penix. Like he played so late in the season because the Falcons, for whatever reason, were trying so hard to hold on to the remaining whatever left,
The
what was
skeleton of
ever
Kirk
left,
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, Achilles, like they were trying to scrape the last piece of cartilage and off of that thing, right? So Michael Penix really didn't get a chance to have impact, and we're never really even gonna know how good he is because he didn't really get a chance to go against real defenses, right? It's the last 3 games of the season. A lot of these dudes are already thinking about Cancun. However, I, from what I saw in the film study I did, that dude got a cannon. That dude is audacious.
He
He
has the
plays
arm.
football. He plays football the way that dudes played in the 80s. Fuck it. That's just what it is. Like,
Nah, he's
it's
not a
fuck
Captain
it.
Fit. He's not a catch and
It's
catch.
somebody down there somewhere, bro. He averaged 10.5 yards per attempt. That means that every time he threw the ball, if somebody caught it, it was a first down. Like, you know how absurd that is?
No, and
Every
Herbie.
completed pass that he threw was a first down.
Nah, and look, and here's the thing, bro. Like, and I'll say this: you were right about the hospital ball point, which is kind of fucking hilarious. But I'll tell you this, Herbie. He has some throws that really, really impressed me in all three games. There was one throw that wasn't even a completion. It was when they were playing Carolina in Week 18.
All right, know what you're talking about. It was a
It's,
Bijan
it's,
Robinson.
it's a throw to B. It's an incomplete pass, Herbie, but it's a throw to Bijan Robinson, who's streaking up the sideline. And Bijan didn't really run the route that well. He kind of like ran his way out of bounds. But when you look at the ball placement of where Michael Penix put that ball, Herbie, that was just
Ridiculous.
one of many throws that he had where he showed excellent accuracy, excellent ball placement, his anticipation. You could see Herbie what the Falcons saw in him. Like I came away looking at the three games he played, thinking like, damn, why didn't they start him sooner? They held on to Kirk Cousins for what? Because he paid
You
him?
want to know why? Because they gave Kirk Cousins 100 M's, man. We gotta make sure that you are gonna die on this field because we gotta get some type of ROI, return on investment, bro. Like we gave you 100 of them things, man. We gave you 100 pack, bro. Like we can't put Michael out there, man. We gotta
No,
get everything we can. Think about this. They gave Kirk Cousins so much money that he's not even gonna start next year, and they still don't want to let him go. That's how they-
imagine, bro. Imagine, bro. So when we talk about the comparisons, Herbie, this might be a little strong for him. My Star Wars comparison for him is Luke Skywalker. Reason why I say it's Luke Skywalker is simple as this, Herbie. He had the late start. Like Luke didn't even know he was a Jedi. He didn't know he had that lineage, right? Until obviously, events happened in A New Hope. And Michael Penix, we were one obviously he
it sucks, Rod, because Rod be cooking. Rod be cooking, and that shit just go to cutting off. You back, you back, you back, you back, you
I'm
back.
back, I'm back, I'm back. Yeah,
Yo, you
man.
back. Oh, you gone
Uh,
again. You gone again. There you go. Wait. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hold on. Wait.
With the first pick in the
Bandwagon draft. Wrong one. My bad. Wrong button. My bad. Wrong button, man. Rod is back. Rod is back. But no, that is strong. Calling Michael Penix Luke Skywalker is crazy. Like he
Only
got to be
because we
him.
don't have Jayden in this tier. I just call him Luke. The comparison to Luke is based on him starting late.
Nah,
Luke,
I
Luke,
get you. I get you. I get you.
yeah, Luke. Most when you consider Jedi's and how they were trained, they always start as younglings, right? Whereas Luke was really late in the game, and that's the same you can say for Penix. But with Luke, you saw his potential early. With Penix, you see his potential early. And when you have Bijan Robinson and you have Drake London and the talent that the Falcons have, he could do some big things this season.
Nah, for sure. Like I said, I really can't wait. Because dude, and this is why I'm so happy that there's so much quarterback potential talent because the more good quarterbacks, man, the better we are for it, bro. And speaking of good quarterback play, man, Bo Nix. I call Bo Nix the other rookie of the year because if Jayden Daniels didn't exist, Bo Nix would have ran away with the rookie of the year. Bo Nix threw 29 touchdowns last year. Does anybody know that? Does anybody?
That's what
he
makes
th-
his over under crazy to me. Like I was looking at it, I said, "What? I should probably put money on that shit now."
like he threw 29 touchdowns last year. Matter of fact, let me pull his stats up real quick. 29 touchdowns, completed 66% of his passes, had 3,800 yards passing, and almost 7 yards per attempt. So he wasn't just at first he was captain check down for the first 6 games. And I criticized him. Like we had episodes where we talked about Bo Nix. We were like, bro, he's being overrated. People are not actually looking at the games. People are just looking at the stats. He had the most passes at or around the line of scrimmage. It was Sean Payton holding him back and saying, don't do anything. Don't F this up. And then the last 6 games, dude turned into fucking Drew Brees with skates, bro. Like, he was throwing that motherfucker. Like, throwing dudes open, throwing back shoulders, lasers everywhere. It's like, that shit was all over the field. And a lot of people just, Jayden's, and no fault to Jayden's, but Jayden's shadow looms so large over everybody else that we didn't really understand how good this class was and how productive that this class actually turned out to be. It's been so long since we had real quality rookie quarterbacks all the way through. Like, we might have a Justin Herbert's and other people might not be as good because Joe Burrow was not as good as Justin Herbert. Tua was not as good as Justin Herbert as rookies, right? Like Joe Burrow didn't even finish the season. He was really mediocre, right? We had a situation where we had multiple guys look really effing good all at the same time. But Jayden was just, his star was just so bright that it made these other dudes seem, pale in comparison. But no, 30 touchdowns as a rookie is nuts. Mm-hmm. Peyton Manning ain't even do that. like Bo Nix was going crazy last year, bro. Like, it's just, that's what happens when you're a West Coast team. You feel me? I might not be able to catch you. If you're not on prime time and I can only see you on Red Zone, I'm not going to see you play for play. But going back and doing the research and digging into what he did last year, bro, he was amazing last year, dog. How you feel about Bo Nix last season, bro?
Well, he probably has the most, out of all my Jedi comparisons, he probably has the most flattering because he's my Obi-Wan, Herbie. He was right under Qui-Gon Jinn. Like, when you look at the way Bo Nix played, Herbie, and you look at the team that he had around him, right? The Broncos defense, Herbie, when you look at what they're going to do this season coming up, you look at what they added in terms of Hufanga and they added Greenlaw to already what was a stout defense with Pastor Tan and them boys that they have over there. I think that the Broncos, Herbie, they're primed to compete against the Chiefs. Let us remember, they gave the Chiefs 2 of their toughest games all season long. And if it wasn't for a missed field goal, a missed kick, the Chiefs wouldn't have had the impressive regular season that they had. But in terms of Bo Nix, Herbie, and how he played, like you pointed out, he started off. They started him off with a tricycle, right?
Yeah,
they had him on training wheels when he started.
They had the tricycle, they had the helmet, they had the elbow pads, they had the little light, the real reflective light. They had it all.
Do too much. They didn't want him to do too much. And then as the season went on, Sean Payton saw that he could.
Sean Payton saw that he could handle it. Sean Payton saw that he could take the workload. And Sean Payton does not make plays. He doesn't have an easy playbook to digest, which is why it took a while because Bo Nix had to actually process and absorb a very complicated playbook. But go on. I ain't mean to cut you off. You just cut off. So I was just
you're good. You're good. No, I mean, Herbie, look, he was. You brought it up to start, like when you were talking about him in general. If not for Jayden Daniels, Herbie, he's the rookie. He's the offensive rookie of the year, easy, right? Because of just how well he played. He got his team to the playoffs as a rookie quarterback, and he showed a lot of promise with the weapons that they had. And he's only going to be better, Herbie. And the Broncos have only gotten better. And mind you, this, Herbie, when you think about this class of guys going into their second year, with the exception of Jayden Daniels, who we don't have on this list, he's probably the guy out of this group most likely to do something in the playoffs, right? Like, you think about the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young, and the Patriots still have a ways to go, and the Falcons still have a ways to go.
The Falcons still have a ways to go. The Patriots definitely have a ways to go.
So you look at the Denver Broncos, and if you ask me, Herbie, and this might be insulting to the Chargers fans, but if you ask me who I trust outside of the Chiefs in that division, I'm taking Denver over the Chargers, bro. Like, I trust Denver to do more damage than the Chargers, despite what the Chargers.
And Rod said something very, very crazy. He said it might be insulting to Chargers fans. Why? Why? What? Who the hell do they are to think they are to be insulted? This is the Chargers' last 2 seasons in the playoffs. Blown a 4 touchdown lead to fucking Trevor Lawrence. And then Justin Boobert decided to throw 4 interceptions against a bad Houston Texans team, man. Yeah, the Broncos definitely are going to probably do something more. Absolutely. Oh, Rob, while you were away, I was explaining why the Chargers fans have they shouldn't even have the audacity to be offended, dog. Like, you fucking right, the Broncos are going to do more than them in the fucking playoffs. Because when the Chargers go to the playoffs, they wet the bed on another level. Like, there's wetting the bed and then there's chargering. The Chargers are going to charge it, bro. That's a phrase. The Chargers are going to charge it, bro. So, yeah. And then let's get to the last Jedi, man. It's obvious. I wanted to say this for last because I wanted to have a different conversation for this guy right here, man. His name is Caleb Williams, right? So
Anakin Skywalker.
That's perfect. This is the chosen one. This is the person that was supposed to bring balance to the Force. This was the person that was just supposed to have so much talent, and he does, right? Like Caleb does. When we're just talking talent, we're just talking about ability. When we're talking about doing things on the football field that just is freaky, unnatural, just uber rare. I want you to go watch Caleb at Oklahoma. I want you to go watch Caleb at USC. The highs of Caleb is some of the highest in the history of football ever. There's throws, there's plays that he's made that I've truly never seen any other quarterback make. That's including Aaron Rodgers. That's including Pat Mahomes. That's including the best of the best, Tom Brady. But you saw the flaws. You saw the problems. You saw what could happen and what could derail a Caleb Williams type. There are no more excuses. You can't blame the offensive line anymore. You can't blame Shane Waldron. You can't blame fucking whatever the hell his name is, the previous head coach. You got Ben Johnson.
Matt Eberflus.
You can't blame Matt Eberflus. You got Ben Johnson. You got Romo Doomsday. You got DJ Moore. You got running backs. You got everything you need. You got a tight end. You got you got T. Longland. Like, you have so much more at your disposal than any young quarterback in recent memory, dog. Like, you have a team almost as good as J.J. McCarthy's team. But because you're so talented, when things don't go as people expect them to go, they try to blame everybody else. Before the season started last year, they called the situation that Caleb Williams, and I quote, multiple people said this, the best situation a young quarterback has ever gone into. And then Caleb got sacked 68 times, and they try to blame everybody, everything except for Caleb Williams. We seen his own O-lineman after he gets sacked walk past his ass, bro. Didn't even offer to pick him up. We seen DJ Moore, who doesn't say anything. As soon as the play started, he was already checked out. He didn't even want to run his route because he just knew Caleb was back there doing some bullshit, bro. Like, hey, we seen it. We seen it all. We seen the highs. We seen the lows. We seen the absolute bottom. And then you had the situation where the stuff with the book came out, right? And shout out to Caleb. You feel me? He had the conversation. He addressed it head on. He didn't lie. He said, yes, we had those conversations. I'm not going to lie. And he owned it. It was still a stupid thing to do because it doesn't serve you. And it only aims to hurt you if you're not amazing this year. But it shows who he is. It shows his football character. However, like I said before, there cannot be any more excuses. Like, I don't want this to turn into another Trevor Lawrence situation because the pre-Trav hype is going to excuse away all of your personal faults. And we're going to incorrectly place blame on others because instead of accepting that this person might not be as good as we imagine them to be, we'd rather point the finger at everybody else. That's why so much people with the Bears on his own team were mad at him last year. visibly frustrated, visibly annoyed, visibly done with him. Now, I don't know how he was in the locker room. I have no idea. But when your offensive line doesn't want to pick you up, dog, that says so much. As a rookie, like you're not a 10-year vet. Like you haven't been a nuisance for a decade. This is your rookie year and they don't want to pick you up. That's unheard of. That's unheard of, bro. So I don't know what to make of Caleb because on paper, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, that seems like a really good year, but nobody believes that. Like, how do you feel about the situation with Caleb, Rod?
Well, look, Herbie, I think when people look at Caleb Williams' situation overall, I think we can meet in the middle somewhere, right? You could look at the fact that
Right when Rob about to cook, man. Nasty work, man.
huh?
Nasty work. Now, I said right when you about to cook, that shit froze up, dog. Right when you was about to cook, dog. But
But look,
go on. You back.
I'm back, y'all. So look, when it comes to Caleb Williams' rookie season, right? I think two things can be true. He did have statistically a pretty solid rookie campaign when you look at the fact that he didn't have a lot of turnovers. He did put up some touchdowns. But on the other hand, Herbie, there is such a thing as watching the games and watching film. There is such a thing as seeing how the people around him kind of react to him, right? And you consider some of the, the report that came out this offseason that, the quote that he had with his dad and all that. I think it makes you wonder about exactly how much the locker room and the team that he has around him, how they really feel about him, right? And look, he's finally now in a situation we like, and we said this last season, especially like me, the coaching situation was not ideal for him. Matt Eberflus might have been a great defensive coach, but he was not someone that you could entrust with developing a rookie quarterback clearly. So he has Ben Johnson now, someone who helped Jared Goff get out the muck, right? Jared Goff was considered a throwaway. He was supposed to be a rental quarterback, and he has ended up developing into what is a top 10 level quarterback, right? If you say
Yeah,
he's
for
less than
sure.
top 10, people, Lions fans will kill you, right? But but when you look at what Ben Johnson brings to the table, what the Bears did in the draft in the offseason, and when you look at Caleb Williams' talent, Herbie, I think now we will see whether he's going to be a true Jedi Knight or whether he will just fall all the way to the dark side, right? Like he's going to be in prime position to prove everybody who doubts him that they're wrong just because he's in the best possible situation to succeed. Like you said, there are no more excuses, bro. Because before last season, people could talk about the coaching staff and they were right. The offensive line was bad. They were right. But the weapons were there, Herbie. And they added more, right? On top of Cole Kmet, you draft an awesome tight end in the draft who's specifically tailored to being a part of a passing attack, right? You have the receivers you have. You have the improvements to the offensive line. Caleb, at this time, is put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, Herbie, and this is a little bit of a separate conversation, but I have the over unders and the odds
Yeah,
of
yeah, for
all the
sure.
second year
Yeah, for
guys.
sure. Yeah, let's run through them
And
right now.
I'll go through them right now, Herbie. And I'll start with Caleb, Herbie, because he has the best MVP odds, right? The MVP odds for all these guys, Herbie. Caleb Williams is plus 3,300, which is obviously like, they're not expecting shit from him, but he has the best. When you look at Drake Maye plus 6,000 to win MVP, you look at Bo Nix plus 5,500, which is crazy to me. I don't know how Bo Nix has less odds than him. You have Michael Penix plus 7,000. You have Bryce Young plus 8,500. So, he's the guy that everybody's looking to have the biggest leap. So whether he has that or not, we'll see. It remains to be seen. But I thought this exercise would be interesting, Herbie, because they have him at 3,350 yards and a half over under. And they have him at 22 and a half touchdowns over under, all these over unders are crazy to me. I feel like these guys should be hit over on all of these. Maybe injury might stop them. But let me ask you, Herbie, for Caleb Williams, over under touchdowns, 22 and a half. How you feeling?
Over.
Bryce Young. Oh, I shouldn't even do Bryce Young. His over under is 16 and a half, bro. They tried this, man, dog.
Try my dog, man. Heisman winner, bro. Have some respect for my guy, man. Nasty work, man.
That's an
Nasty
easy
work.
over, bro. That's an easy over right there. Michael Penix, touchdowns, 19.5 over under.
Oh,
I think over, man. I think it's
I'm gonna
easy.
say over because he gonna throw them. Hospital balls are trying. It's either do or die. It's either do or die. Either you gonna die, or he gonna try. So yeah, bro, I'm gonna say over.
Bo Nix, which this is crazy. Even if he regresses, Herbie, his over under is 24.5 over under.
Actually, I'll take the under just because 24. I know this is a new era, but 24 touchdowns is a lot, right? Like that is a lot. Like
that's fair.
So I'll take the under. I'll take the under to be on the safe side because you don't know how many times they're going to be on the goal line. They hand the ball off and this, that, and the third, bro. So I'll say under.
And then last but not least, Drake Maye touchdowns. His over under is 19.5, bro. That's gotta be.
I'm smashed over. But the one that is funny is for going back to Caleb, the passing yards. He's a Bear quarterback, bro, which means that there is some type of pact. Chaludu, the devil, whatever.
They don't cross 4,000, Herbie.
They do not cross 4,000 yards. Take the under, guys. Take the under. You need to take the under. There is a deal with the devil that was set in place how many eons ago that said no Bears quarterback can pass for over 4,000 yards, bro. If a Bears quarterback does, that might be the end of civilization as we currently know it and understand it, bro. So I'll just bet the over because I want the world to survive, dog. But with that, man, any last things before we get up out of here, bro?
Listen, man. I am like now that we're doing these quarterback conversations, Herbie, it just makes me more antsy for the season to start. So
me too, bro. Like that's like I'm super excited for next season, man. I'm dying for it, bro. So speaking of what we got in the future, next week will we be doing QB crash outs, the greatest QB crash outs of all time, as well as the new tier that we're gonna debut, which is the glad my team is not paying you tier. There are going to be some surprises in that tier, guys. Like, if you are a fan of certain quarterbacks, prepare to be offended next week. We've already smoking on that Lions pack. They want our head, bro. Cardinals pack, they want our head. Chargers pack, they definitely want our head, bro. We got a lot of ops. Eagles fans, bro, our biggest op, bro. Chiefs fans, like we opt out, bro. So we smoking on hella packs, man. All season. I can't wait the next season. We gonna be smoking on. We putting so much fan bases and blunts, bro. I can't wait.
Smoking on the back.
All right, man. We will see y'all next week, man. Deuces. Same time, same day. Sunday, 7:00, man.